Look, Adia Thermal is going to help you, and here's why. So basically, it self-commissions and self-balances. It self-learns. That takes a lot of the effort out at the end of the job of having to spend all day balancing and commissioning radiators. It's as simple as open the valves fully, and then the Adia Thermal intelligent TRVs balance everything and they pulse. It speeds up the installation slightly. It allows you to retain original cylinders where applicable, and also it helps you retain more emitters, and it allows you to utilize more radiators that are slightly underpowered by stretching the delta T, and it does a few intelligent things on its intelligent buffer. We are AAC Group. We're a professional heat pump installer and designer, and we install air source heat pumps commercially and domestically across Kent, and we have endorsed the Adia Thermal as the main part of our solutions to provide across them type of applications. Before we went renewable on the heating, we had a gas boiler. We had a typical on-off relationship with the controls, so no different to every other house that does it that way. We are quite a few hundred metres above sea level here. We're on a hill, and a famous hill because this is where they used to launch the aircraft from. This used to be an airfield over Folkestone to send them across during World War II. You can imagine we've got a very unique microclimate here. Since we've installed the renewable heating and the heat pump, we have been a constant, stable temperature, regardless of external wind and temperature. So it's impressively held the temperature evenly, and it works very well. So the motivation for finally getting a heat pump in our house was twofold. We've been installing these systems for quite a few years now, and seeing the results of other people benefiting from an even, comfortable and distributed heat across the house, and the talk of savings on bills. We were looking forward to doing this. We hung on for the Adia Thermal hub. When it finally came out, we were one of the first to grab one and get this system installed, and we've been living with it for a while now, and it's very comfortable, and it's made a difference actually to our comfort and our lives, truly. Matt, we've got the lights ready. Do you want to come and have a look at this? So this is the main Adia Thermal hub. This is connected to the air source heat pump. This is the flow and return all through to the loft, goes across the loft, goes down outside the building, through the soffit, all the way down to the front corner. Then basically, come and have a look at this. What we've got is these two aerials. They're movable, so basically that allows you to point them in the best direction for it to pick up its signal. So that gives you your network and it connects to the internet. Obviously, like all systems, you've got main 28mm or inch isolation. You've got flow and return, you've got common return, and hot water and heat and return there. And then as we go down, we kept the original cylinder. The idea of keeping the cylinder was because it was only about 6 years old. It would be a shame to get rid of it. This is quite a good brand. It's very efficient. So what we wanted to do is utilise this, which is what this enabled us to do. We installed new extra isolation and heat pump filter by Fernox. Here you've got the immersion control. That's just for backup, like your old version of heating systems. If this was to have a problem, you can at least get your hot water back on. Then this is the main controls power, which controls the Adia Thermal intelligent controller, and also links to the Valent controls. A bit closer, Matt. Come and have a look at this. It's a bit cozy because we've got a nice, neat, tidy cupboard. We've got the expansion vessel to the main tank, and then on this side we've got an inline water filter for a bit of softening and conditioning to any water drawn into the house through to the tank, or whether it's cold water. We've got our pressure relief for the main cylinder. We've got a combination set here to regulate the pressure coming into the hot water and water side of the building. And then we've got these pipes go down into the floor, which are feeding the services throughout the building. This is the Valent controller. This is now programmed to allow the Adia Thermal to control everything. So it's sitting there, it registers the kit, it talks to the kit. It's like a communication hub in line with it now. And then this is the gateway which connects the system to this controller here, which is now set up as a backup controller. Doesn't actually do a lot. The Adia Thermal covers everything. And that's the main setup of the cupboard. I'll let you have a big wide pan of the cupboard. So in effect, it's a very clever
distribution system. It self-calibrates and self-commissions and learns the house over time. In effect, it's an intelligent buffer or a brake. So it's got a hydraulic brake inside. The technical side of this system is it talks to all of its room thermostats and its room actuators. That information gets put back to the Adia Thermal hub. That then can determine what the need is for the house, and that then controls the heat pump thereafter, and then converts that energy and moves it more intelligently around the house.
I did quite a bit of research on it, and it was going to give me a solution for close control to every single room, at the same time intelligently manage an open loop system. So the way that the Adia Thermal works, which suits me as a heat pump designer, it's ticking every box possible that I could look for. I had microbore, overcomes that with a bit of programming, a bit of balancing. I had multiple rooms with multiple rads. I wanted to be able to control them individually, and it was like I wanted to create a deluxe system in my own house, and I managed to do that less than the cost of a standard install, which I was quite impressed with. With the Adia Thermal system, you get an indoor thermostat with every room, which is then connected through the hub, and then that gets connected to this smart TRV, which controls everything. I'm genuinely quite impressed. We're getting high SCOPs of 4.1. I'm surprised at that with the microbore, and the fact that we didn't change any of the radiators. So far it's very impressive. We installed quite a few systems, and we're monitoring and measuring other homes. I would say this is quite keeping up with the top 5% so far. Obviously, we've got a bit of time to go further, but at the moment, every measure is looking like it's in the top 10, top 5. It's very impressive.
So with the Adia Thermal hub, we're looking to use the Adia Thermal system in most of the residential installs we're going to do moving forward. We think the equipment is suitable for nearly every install that we'll be looking at.
Adia Thermal is able to learn the habits and patterns of the home and how it's occupied, and the homeowner's habits of certain areas within the house. So over a period of time, Adia Thermal analyses each room, tests the emitter's output, works out how much heat is put into that room over time, then knows where to prioritise the heat. So what you're doing is improving the intelligence of the heat pump system. Rather than it being balanced and evenly distributed, you're now able to move the heat where it's more needed, more often, which is quite an impressive leap forward. Adia Thermal will help make a decision whether a homeowner is going to go ahead with a heat pump or not, because it will help reduce disruption. It will save costs on installation. In some cases, it may even allow us to not change cylinders and less emitters, radiators, or other versions of emitting heat into the room.